DeckBuilders toolkits have returned with Core 2019, and there's a different format for them now. So let's take a look at it and see if it's worth your dollars. Wait, does it look like I'm pinching nipples here? Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. You see how much you guys like routine? Are you kind of annoyed at me now for not saying it the way that I'm supposed to? I'm not a robot. You can't make me do it, all right? You can't make me do it anymore. I'm a real boy, like Pinocchio when he became a real boy, all right? So keep that in mind. You're here for a product analysis? Too bad, because I'm here to waste your time. All right, let's talk about this new DeckBuilders toolkit. So they decided that they were not going to do a DeckBuilders toolkit for Dominaria because they wanted to revamp how they are doing these products. There have been some changes to them, so we're going to talk about what they are, their intention, whether they're worth it, what you get. The idea behind this is the DeckBuilders toolkit is specifically meant for beginners to Magic the Gathering. It's an incredibly simple introductory product that comes with, they're identical. Each one's identical across them, aside from the random booster packs that are included. So inside of them, you will get a basic land pack, you get a fixed card pack, and you also end up with a learn to play guide, the full art reusable card storage box. Now, oh, and 4 booster packs as well from new sets. So, or recent, actually, I should say recent Magic sets. So in terms of the box, I'm going to go off of information from the previous toolkits. I don't know if they've changed the quality, but in terms of the sturdiness of the box, the bundle boxes are stronger than DeckBuilders toolkit boxes. So if you're looking for a box that's strong, you're going to want to get the bundle box. The difference between the two as well, the toolkit boxes flap open. They're one entire piece, kind of like those white long boxes that you can open, whereas bundle boxes separate into 2 pieces. So that is of note. The basic land pack is a 100 card land pack. Now, this to me, this is the only flaw. This is the only like majorish flaw I can find with it, and even that is a minor sort of flaw. And that is the fact that it's 100 basic lands and 20 of each basic. But the problem I have with this is this is meant for a beginner, right? Like this is supposed to say, use this to build your first decks. And the core set is meant to push basically like play straight green, play straight red, try a color, try a color, try a color. See what one color is like. Now, 20 lands of one type is fine in 1994 when we all played by the 60-20 land rule, where it's like you had your 60 card deck, you have 20 lands in it. That was how it worked. But now land bases tend to be 23 to 24 lands. So it makes absolutely no sense to have only 20 of each of these basic lands. Honestly, the basic land pack should be 125 basic lands so that the players get 25 of each basic type. That is an improvement that needs to be made. So that is a slight issue for me. The 125 fixed cards. Now this is different from previous DeckBuilders toolkits. What they used to do was they would have 125 semi-fixed cards. So you would have a grouping of, I believe the breakdown previously was 80 and 45. So you would have the 45 were the ones that would be varying and the 80 would be set. What they did was they had different concepts that they would come up with, like blue-black or red-green, as these different ideas that they gave you a suggestion to try in the book that was included, the little guide that was included with the toolkits. It would say, try these strategies, and it would have all the different 10 strategies listed for all the different color, the different dual color combinations, but it would only include a little sampling of 10 cards, roughly, for 4 of those strategies. That was the breakdown. They would have 4 of the 10 strategies available in a DeckBuilders toolkit. Going forward, every single DeckBuilders toolkit will have the exact same 125 fixed cards. Now, instead of having 10 different strategy groups like they used to, Wizards of the Coast has streamlined how these things work. Basically, the idea behind the DeckBuilders toolkit is there's a product path. Ideally, what Wizards of the Coast wants a new player to do is come out to an open house event and get an open house deck. From the open house deck, Wizards of the Coast then wants them to move into the Planeswalker deck, which is why with the Core 2019, they've moved to having 5 basic Planeswalkers decks, 1 for each color, and they will be available for the entire year now instead of the just with this set. It's meant to be the entry-level product for the whole year for players. So it goes open house deck for free, buy a Planeswalker deck, then buy the DeckBuilders Toolkit. So the DeckBuilders Toolkit specifically has cards in it designed to beef up and work with the Planeswalker decks from Core 2019. It's pretty good, actually. The way they've done things, the open house decks are good. The Planeswalker decks are good, and they feel connected to the open house deck by having some overlapping cards, enough to give you familiarity, but not just a, here's more copies of the exact same card. So it leads you along a path. Here's more of what you can do with that deck. So the DeckBuilders Toolkit brings that as well by having the 125 fixed cards that are set to appeal to all 5 different Planeswalker decks and work with them. Now the 4-card booster packs, in the past it has worked where they were all, at least for the recent past for the DeckBuilders Toolkits, because they change things now and then. Up until now, it has worked where you get a standard booster from the set it's from. So you would get a Core 29, for this is an example, you would get a Core 2019 booster and 3 other random boosters from standard legal sets. Now, the wording that Wizards has given out on this just says recent Magic sets. So it may turn out that they're going back further. I still anticipate that they'll include at least 1 Core 2019 booster pack in the DeckBuilders Toolkit, but the only thing we can be certain of is that it will include 4 booster packs from recent sets. Now these products retail for the same price as 4 booster packs, which means that if you like to buy random booster packs or anything like that and you want the deck box alone, this can be an okay purchase for you. But I'm going to evaluate it for the market it was intended for, and that's for beginners. So from the perspective of a beginner and meeting the needs of a beginner, I think it's an excellent product. The bundles are far more expensive because the bundles have 10 booster packs in it. So while the boxes are more rugged, you do have to pay more. You get other nice things with the bundle, and I love that product. But the DeckBuilders Toolkit is a nice, cheap entry point where it's like, look, if you're new to the game, you're a beginner, and you're going to throw $20 down on boosters, you can get this as well. It's going to come with a bigger box that's going to hold all the stuff you got at the open house. It's going to hold your Planeswalker deck. It's going to hold everything you got in the toolkit, plus more. It's going to give you 100 basic lands, which is going to let you build new decks. It's going to give you ideas about some of the other colors that you may not have gotten into if you just picked one of the Planeswalker decks. And another thing I like about those Planeswalker decks is there's 5 of them, and they're all designed well to play against each other. So it doesn't have the same kind of stagnant feel of 2 decks playing against each other. But the DeckBuilders Toolkit, just to reiterate what you get in entirety, you get a 100-card basic land pack, a pack of 125 fixed cards, 4 recent set booster packs, a DeckBuilders guide with tips, a Magic Learn to Play guide, and the storage box. Now, for $20 in terms of Magic products, I feel like this is an absolutely reasonable product for beginners to purchase. I don't see it having much appeal for people who are firmly entrenched in the game. That being said, if you like to spin your luck on boosters every once in a while, it's worth giving a chance to. So, let's end it like we started it, guys, with weird clampy rubbing. It can be wherever you want. Well, we'll twist the angles. Whatever you guys want this to be. Is this the tiniest violin? Is this me using friction to remove your pubes off your sack? It's up to you. The world is your oyster. Now get inside there and get that pearl. Whoa, battery's running low.
Hi everyone. Together, we are the 6th color of magic.
We the best card